You can find an urgent care closer to you through our app and through I made that part of the app because I wanted it. And I've actually used it numerous times. There's been several times on a Sunday where I had a kid with a fever of 104 and I'm thinking, okay, well, what's open? And so by using the app, you can sit there and look. These are the hours, which ones are around me, and you can call them from the app, and there you are. So,
yes. Real quick, I was just wondering how you see the future of mobile advertising with things like Foursquare and Goella and things of that site. I mean, right now it's just a check-in on here, but do you see more of that? You were showing me how you're going to have Foursquare.
Yes,
I'm curious as to how you see that that's going to develop into an actual advertising
What's
concept.
cool about Goella and Foursquare is that it is user-generated content. Businesses don't even have to go enter their own information. Somebody sitting at Straight Up Pizza will enter in all of the information for Straight Up Pizza, even if the people who are behind the counter never enter Foursquare. And so because of that, you can get a lot of massive content completely free of charge. You have people voluntarily providing information for your app with absolutely not having to pay them a penny. Because of that, it's a pretty powerful thing. Now, how Foursquare and Goella will go about making money off of those, I'm not sure. It's the same as Twitter, where you have to eventually figure out how you're going to make money. Twitter is going to do it through monetized tweets. Whether Goella eventually has content that businesses can pay for, I don't know. That's what would make sense to me. We are adding Foursquare to our next version of the iPhone app that will come out in a few weeks. So that you will be able to find all of the Foursquare places right around you. You can check in there right from the app. We haven't added Goella yet. We're still in the middle of looking at some of that to see whether we want to. But I do see mobile marketing. There's a lot of different ideas that are gelling. Some of them will work, some of them won't. And right now it's a little bit of a gold rush. You had a question?
I did. Well, I actually had a couple things because you had sparked my interest. On the Foursquare thing, I did see a post that was interesting today about how they plan on getting towards location awareness services and advertisements. You know, just like you walk into this area, this part of town, and you're checking in on Foursquare, you may see a lot of advertisements for the local businesses surrounding finding discounts through augmented reality or something like that.
Very good. I hadn't seen that.
But you sparked my interest about iAd because I too am very curious as to how that launch will occur. So I looked up an article where you're talking. They said that for the initial advertisers that are going to be available at launch for nationwide are paying upwards of $10 million for the privilege to be available at launch.
Right. But
so,
that's because that's the ego thing. We went out with iAd.
And they said that like $2 for a normal user click for a normal advertisement is what it would cost to Apple for iAd.
Right, and so they're going to do the pay-per-click model. They're going to do something like that. And so the challenge of that is that you know what it's like with a Google ad. The only people that really make money off of Google ads is Google. I mean, there's a few companies that make a lot of money, but for the most part, most of that goes back to Google. And so it'll be interesting. I'm not completely sold on iAds yet. If it's just sophisticated banner ads, it's still going to be a banner ad. And the truth is that you have to figure out what your users are willing to put up with. There's a shopper app out there that did not have any advertising, and they charged people up to $6 to download the app. And people used it, and they loved it, and it got massively high reviews. All of a sudden, when you open up the app and you put in flour, all of a sudden you see a little banner ad right below in your grocery list that says gold medal flour. It made people so angry that their rating has gone down to 1 star up on Apple, and there are about 15 pages of angry people who were mad enough to go up there and write diatribes against that app because they felt like they paid not to have that in there. And so you really cannot mess with your base. You have to know what they want to see and give it to them where they want it and when they want it, or it will make them mad and won't use your app.
How are you managing the review process in terms of paying attention to that?
I look at every single review because I want to know whether there's something that someone doesn't like in the app that we can fix. The bad thing about Apple is that it's like asking all the people who are at a movie and they leave early how they liked the movie. And they never ask anyone else how they liked it. Because the only time you're asked to rate an app is when you delete it off of your phone. Which means the guy in Zurich, which downloads AppCityLife and is ticked off because all that's in there is Albuquerque, he gives me a 1 because he's ticked off because it has absolutely no usefulness for him at all and he's annoyed that he downloaded it. And so you have no control over what that process is like. And so all you can do is that hope that people who like it enough go up there and rate it. The actual written reviews on my app have been very positive. We're at about 2.5 stars, right at 3. The other thing that people do as developers of similar apps will go up and trash your app. And I know when that happens because I'll get a flurry of about 7 negative ratings all at once. And so you know it's someone who said, "Ooh, go get that one." And so they go up and do that. And so it's not a very fair system, but I still look at it because if there's things that people are saying, "This absolutely sucks," I need to look at that because these are the people who want to use my app. And it's not for me, it's for them. And so that we do definitely look at the rating system. But Apple's a bit of a challenge to, as far as how to get yourself noticed in the App Store. It's brutal. It really is. Any other questions or?
Well, I have a question. I just have a statement.
Yes.
Stompernet is actually suggesting or estimating that mobile advertising will bring in more revenue for businesses than internet marketing in its entirety.
Oh, I agree. I definitely do.
That's huge.
Well, and if you think about why that's true, internet marketing was hit or miss. When you go to some website and there's a Google ad, you don't know what you're getting. You never know whether that's going to be the one that shows up. You never, you're how many ever clicks.
Well, there's ways to control that, but I mean, as internet marketing as a whole, not just AdWords and stuff like that. I mean, the whole shebang.
Right.
Which was huge.
Yes, you're getting them where you want them. It's when they're in the store looking for something. It's when they're driving and looking for a hotel. It's much more immediate. At least that's what we found so far. So that was a great observation. I hadn't seen that. Very good.
You say that this app is for those of us who live in Albuquerque, and essentially I see that. But where you've got a lot of tourists, what is to keep it from also being something they download while they're here?
Oh, they do. Oh, they definitely do. Our app's been downloaded in 29 countries outside of the U.S. And there's a survey inside of it asking people, why did you download this? And about 20% of them say it's because they're thinking of moving here or because they're thinking of visiting here. And so they want to look around. And so locals are using it to get around town and to find out what to do on Friday night. Tourists are using it to see, do I want to go there? And if I do, what's in here that maybe isn't in another travel app? And people will download the free ones before they'll ever download one that's for 99 cents. And so that was part of why we kept it free, is so that we got in front of the most spaces as possible. Yes?